So, hi everyone. My name is Alexander, and I am the coordinator of X2. And I want to welcome you today to the OpenCall 3 info webinar. I'm also joined by several of my colleagues. Today the meeting will take place, or the webinar will take place around an hour and a half, maybe. I do invite everyone, if you have this capability, to change the name of your Zoom to include the name of your company so we can know who we're addressing. Also, as this is a webinar, there's a Q&A feature, which allows you to create questions as we go along. But I would recommend that you wait with some questions, as some questions might be answered during the webinar as we go along. Q&A will also be handled at the end of the meeting. And also I do want to apologize. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so hence the lack of enthusiasm on my end. But I hope that's okay. So let's start. X2 is an EU-funded legacy project of X-Europe, which ended 2 years ago as a Startup Europe project. And as X2, we aim to deliver 5 needs-based, custom, industry-focused growth programs to 50 most innovative deep tech startups to enable them, or enable you, to grow, develop, scale, market-ready applications across border, focusing on Europe. We are motivated, as you probably can see on the previous slide, to upskill and upscale deep tech startups, connect and nurture deep tech EU ecosystems from moderately to highly innovative regions. And finally, to reinforce the European Innovation Council offer with our program. We have a consortium of 3. ICT Hub is a leading innovation venture builder / venture capital from the Balkan region. We have F-Success as a global platform for connecting founders with opportunities and running EU funding programs. And we have Zabala Consulting, or Zabala Innovation, as a leading consultancy agency. And together, our keen innovation expertise allows us to implement this project. We are looking to grow the ecosystem to 350 industry impact builders, another term that we use for external service providers, who are to provide services from the 6 categories of our innovation matrix. We look to grow to 75 corporations following our cohorts and engaging in various activities, all towards establishing collaborations with our startups. And finally, we're seeking to engage investors from a perspective of, obviously, investment creation in the future. We, as I said, are focusing on 5 cohorts, and currently we are in the health tech. We've held 2. Well, we're currently implementing manufacturing and circular economy somewhere in a month 2 or 3. The agri-tech started just now, and we're seeking to onboard health tech, where the particular methodology that allows us to oversee the implementation and deliver services for all of these jointly, and which we'll talk about in a second. So our growth programs are, as you've seen, themed based on industry or technology, and we seek to onboard 10 best of the best from Europe deep tech startups for each cohort. Once we select them, and we do so impartially by using internal mechanism of evaluation as well as external evaluators, we provide these 10 startups with the program that starts off by doing a needs assessment by our venture capital and innovation experts. The needs assessment is a proprietary methodology that we implement to understand what are the needs of a particular startup. And based on this, we provide recommendations and requirements for the service utilization coming from the innovation support matrix. These growth services, as can be seen on the bullet point 3, are coming from the innovation support matrix, which has been developed from our experience from various incubators and accelerators, and we'll touch upon in a second. And we are engaging external service providers or impact builders to deliver these services. So, welcome, HealthTech and BioTech. We are particularly interested in technologies from the health tech sector and the biotechnological sector, whether it's mental, physical, looking into animals and similar. But all startups need to demonstrate the deep tech component. In other words, it has to be very scientifically, well, very high tech, or it comes from a scientific background. Here is the innovation matrix, and I want to take your focus to look into the categories before we look into the subcategories. So we have the 6 ones: financing and investment, deep tech scientific, or in other words, technological needs, biz dev and scaling up, promotion, communication, internationalization, and soft landing, and commercialization and legal aspects. Each of these have subcategories and obviously services and particularities that define each. And we are looking to connect you with the experts from the industry that can deliver services to you from these categories. In addition to this, so as I said, this is the first thing on the list. You would be receiving, if you're selected, the needs-based growth and scaling up services. You will receive access to large-scale startups and investor-oriented events, one-on-one mentorship with these experts, corporate matchmaking and procurement, fundraising assistance, custom EU funding and public procurement ecosystem overview, talent matchmaking and job promotion, and promotion and visibility. As you can see, this is quite vast when it comes to the value proposition that we are offering. And worthwhile saying is that these three are offered by external service providers, while the rest is offered by the consortium ourselves. We are offering, well, it's a grant of 30,000 that serves as innovation vouchers. You are to use the vouchers in the following way: around up to 5,000 euros or 5,000 euros for you to attend minimum 2 events, that one of which needs to be investment seeking oriented. Maximum 20,000 euros need to be focused on minimum of 2 services coming from those 6 categories that we have talked. And at least 5,000 euros needs to be directed towards acquiring a mentorship delivered by the experts from these categories. The difference between the services and the mentorship is that the mentorship is quantified by hours, and we are looking to see 15 hours at least delivered by the mentor. Now, this is the minimum, and the startup can decide how many services they want to acquire, given that the minimum is acquired at least. Now, what does this mean? During the application form, you will be asked, do you have an impact builder on your mind that you want to utilize the service or the innovation voucher on, and who do you want to work with? the impact builder can come already from our database, or you can bring them yourself. Strong recommendation is that during the application form time, you simply indicate who do you want to work with. Later on, while it is a possibility, we prefer that you tell us ahead of time who you want to work with, because this will be taken into account within our needs assessment. Now, as you can see, we have a minimum amount of services, but you are at the end of the day choosing how do you want to spend your money. So if you want to inquire 4 or 5 services, even better. And this means that you will be negotiating with the impact builders yourself, leveraging probably best value for money methodology, and looking to see who can offer you the most. When we recommend impact builders based on the needs assessment, we will tell you, hey, we know that you're seeking investment or business dev. Here are the 3 impact builders that we believe that could help you. And it is on you to choose who you want to work with, basing on the services that we had recommended. Hope this is clear. But if you do have questions, pop them in the Q&A feature. When it comes to the open call guideline and documentation on the website, there is a guidelines for applicants that we recommend you read, and the sovereignty agreement, which is a contract that you would be signing if you are accepted. Slightly on the eligibility criteria. So we are looking to get applicants or to select applicants from the Horizon Europe eligible country list. So that means EU member states plus associated countries. We're seeking to get legally established entities, whether in a form of an SME or mid-caps. Is fine, but it has to be legally established entities. It can't be natural persons. And the conflict of interest. So yeah, no one who's linked to us is not eligible in this kind of way. When it comes to the evaluation criteria, so the application form is pretty standard. It looks like a sort of a business plan. Not too detailed because we tried to keep it concise. So there is a limit to each question, but here you can see the criteria and that we are serving to select. This is also available in the guidelines for applicants, and this is why we're saying we recommend you read it. But follows a similar approach as Horizon Europe methodology to understand its potential, its impact. We're particularly giving a special focus to Seal of Excellence holders, startups and scale-ups coming from widening countries, or entrepreneurs who are founded or co-founded by women or have women into top management. How to apply? So the application is done through the F6S platform, pretty standard, and you have a deadline until the 5th of September. All applications need to be delivered in English. And as previously mentioned, you can bring your impact builder yourself. Yeah. So a couple of tips and tricks on how to apply. So approach the application with high motivation. This is a competitive program. We already have seen a vast number of you in our pipeline starting the application. So it will be a competitive. Plus, on top of that, we are selecting top 10. And I think it's already been clear that the program is quite tailored, hence the competitiveness, and it's very individual to each. That means tailored, right? So be specific and concise. Yeah, we have limitations to each of the questions. You can't go forever writing a story. So really quantify your things, specific, and yeah, utilize it best. do not wait for the last minute. This in case you need some assistance or reopen the application, you can give us some time for us to do so, and please email us if you feel there's a need for us to open the application for you. We can do that, but do not wait for the last day because it's gonna get hectic and there's a chance we might miss it. So let's not have this chance. Find your angle, show us how you're different. As you can see, it's a numbers game for us. A lot of applicants come in, you need to stand out. There's a chance that someone else is doing something similar to you. Make sure to explain to us how is it that you're better than them. If you do not do so, you'll probably not get scored well on the competitive side. Read the guidelines for applicants. It is a standard document for any of the open calls within the Cascade funding scene or EU funding support scene. It does seem daunting to read 20-something pages, but it will help you craft the application. So take some time to read it, please. If you have any questions, please reach out to us via an info page or F6S application page. We will answer promptly, but also have in mind the holiday season is on, so give us some understanding for this, please. Once accepted, you'll need to provide an SME declaration form, a PIC number, legal assistance, and a country of establishment, bank account information, and the signature of the severity agreement. But this is only once you have been accepted. On the growth program, so it is developed in 3 phases, up to 5 or 6 months, depends how you look at it. Before we start, we conduct the needs assessment, as I mentioned, and we connect you with the impact builders. In the first month, it is very, very important that we concisely develop the work plan, or that you, in collaboration with your impact builder, develop a work plan. It is a short but sweet work plan that defines SMART goals and KPIs attached to each service that you will be acquiring. Why is this important? Because each report, as you can see in upcoming months, will reflect on what is it that you have defined initially. And this is how we will be able to understand whether the services are being developed properly, that you are receiving the support that you need, and that is equals to the satisfaction of your end, and as well as on our end. And at the end of the day, that you're achieving the impact that you had set to do so. $30,000 is not a little money, and we want to make sure that it is utilized in the best way so you can individually craft your innovation pathway. As you can see, the fundings are associated to the phases. So once you sign the sovereignty agreement, we gave you 30% of the 30,000 to kickstart you off. And then you embark on your work program. At the end of month 3, we look to understand your progress, as mentioned, for each of the services, to see if you have experienced any problems. Have you deviated from initial plan? And if it is all right, and we understand it's done according to the work plan you have initially established, we approve it and we release the second phase, or the second phase of money. Yeah. Same thing applies for the third phase. What's worthwhile mentioning is this is quite individual, and you are to attend the events throughout these 5 months, the 2 events of your own choosing. And you don't need to put all your services in the first month. or the second and the third month, or the third and the fourth. You are to distribute it based on your own availability as well as the impact builders availability. But as long as this is properly established in the work plan, because later, as you can see, we are the supervisors of the services. We do not deliver the services. You have contracts with impact builders and the sub-guarantee agreement with us. But we really reserve the right to not release the funding if the reports do not match the work plan established, if the impact builders say that the service has not been delivered and that you are not on the right path. But obviously, we don't want this to happen, and we are here to support you in any kind of way. So, yeah, it's a particular program, and we're really looking forward to seeing individual pathways develop. So, how to stay in touch? Website, Twitter, or it's X now, right? LinkedIn and email. So, questions. We do already have a question from an anonymous entity. So to clarify, grant vouchers are based on the value of the startups receive and not cash, correct? So you're receiving the cash, but you are to pay the impact builders. So the cash is meant to be spent in total, in full. This is why the work plan is developed initially. You show us the contracts with the impact builders that will define the amount. And the amount in total needs to equal to around 30,000 euros, including the travel spending. So we understand that you wouldn't be really able to apply. You might not be able to spend every single euro or be quite particular, but we are looking to understand around 30,000. So we can, question from Bogdan and Runtikere, we can apply as a consortium with a company from UK. So on this topic, there has been a lot of discussion on our end and everyone's end. The thing is, while the UK is an associated country to the Horizon Europe, we are not allowed to provide you money because the UK government is supposed to cover the payments. So by doing so, this raises the question of the eligibility. And I think on behalf of the consortium, we can say that currently we're deeming the applicants from the UK non-eligible. But I want to see if I have any colleagues from here that want to speak up differently. One second. Natasha, I've added you to the panelist. Let me see who else is here. Natasha, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I agree completely with you regarding the applicants from UK. At the moment, it is like that, but we expect, actually, European Commission expect that the situation with UK will be changed.
Yeah. Can we pay a supplier from the UK? I think this is in the same way. We're looking to support impact builders from Europe and connect ecosystems in such a way. So if the impact builder is not from Europe, I think they're not eligible as well. And I think, again, question for my colleagues to confirm this.
I think the Sabala is right organization to support this question, but
yeah,
you can send us an email with the same question, and we will send to them, and they will answer it. Yeah.
Thanks, Santosh. Question from Alice: how long do you reckon the application takes to submit? So look, the application length will probably not is capped with characters, and I don't think it allows any longer than 3 or 4 pages length. And I think it's best way if I keep my answer like this, because it all depends on your efforts there and your knowledge and previous content that you have and your own strategy and so forth. So I can't really answer in a better way. It all depends on all of these factors. Anyone else has any questions? Going once. Going twice. Let's give it 1 minute. Maybe someone's typing. Well, if that's it, I think this was quite short and sweet and very easily understood, I hope. Okay, great. So guys, thanks for stopping by. We really hope to see your applications in. Explore the application form yourself and the guidelines for applicants. And we're really looking forward to it. Don't forget, the 5th of September is the deadline. And let's see how can we move forward together.